Welcome to the introductory video in the Alberta Health Services series, Tips for Success, Getting Through Mealtime Struggles. We acknowledge that what we call Alberta is the land of Treaties 6, 7, and 8. We are living and working on the traditional and ancestral territory of many peoples. We acknowledge the many First Nations, Métis settlements, and Inuit who have lived in and cared for these lands for generations. We are grateful for the traditional knowledge keepers and elders who are still with us and those who have gone before us. We make this acknowledgement as an act of reconciliation and gratitude to those whose territory we reside on or are visiting. This video is intended as general information for all caregivers. It is not intended to provide a diagnosis or to replace the advice of a qualified health professional. If you have specific questions about your child or family, please call 811 and talk to your doctor or other healthcare provider. Tips for Success, Getting Through Mealtime Struggles is a series of recorded presentations developed by a team of dietitians, occupational therapists, and speech-language pathologists from Alberta Health Services. Along with this introduction session, there are 4 other videos. Each will take about 20 to 25 minutes to watch. You can watch and listen at your own pace or speed. The videos are intended for parents and caregivers of children aged 6 months up to about age 8 years. You may find these videos helpful if you want to learn more about feeding children and mealtimes, whether you are looking for general information or if you have questions. You may also simply wish to view these videos for general information about eating and mealtimes and/or learn about tips and strategies that might work for you and your family. Each video in this series has information on different topics. The Connections video focuses on the parent-child relationship and how that supports mealtimes. The Child Development video goes over stages of feeding development and how to introduce new foods at any age. The Nutrition video will offer information about nutrition for young children. The Environment and Routines video looks at mealtime settings and routines. We hope this webinar will support your child and family. This may include learning about connecting with your child, understanding childhood development, setting up routines, and information on nutrition for your family. Each video has links to resources and further information. To make the most of this series, we recommend you start with the Connections video, or you are welcome to view them in any order, choosing the topics that are of most interest to you at this time. As well, you may wish to share these videos with family and friends who are involved with feeding and mealtimes with your child. Each video will have QR codes that link to useful handouts and other resources related to that topic. QR codes are black and white squares you'll see on the screen and can be scanned using the camera on a smartphone. If you have a smartphone, you can pause the video when you see a QR code and scan it with your camera. Your phone will then prompt you to open a website containing useful information. As you prepare to view the different videos, think about what brought you to this webinar. Think about what is important to you about feeding and mealtimes for your child and family. You may also be thinking about goals and things you would like to change about mealtimes. What does it look like when mealtimes are going well for your child, you and your family? Would you like to set a goal to change something? You can use this goal wheel form to help you think about goals for any or all the videos you watch. In the middle circle, think about a goal you'd like to reach related to the video you are watching. As you go through a video, add the strategies or tips that might work for you, your child, and your family. You can print the goal wheel by scanning the Pediatric Eating and Swallowing QR code that is later in this presentation. Look for goal setting in the tools and templates on the website. The QR code is found in the resources section of each video. If you do end up having an appointment with a healthcare provider after viewing the webinars, you may share the thoughts you have written on the goal wheel. This will serve as a starting point to discuss how things are going with your child's eating. As you view the different videos, remember that every child and family is different. We will be offering you general ideas and strategies to try. We will also let you know how to access individual or in-person help if you need it. As you reflect on these areas and go through the videos, make notes of what stands out for you. Consider making small changes over time and contacting your healthcare provider for any further support or if you have concerns. If you have worries about your child's eating or feeding, either now or after viewing the different topics in the webinar, you can complete a questionnaire to help you to better understand and identify any areas of concern. Any infant, child, or youth with a feeding concern can be screened. Screening will simply help you know if more support may be needed for your child. Screening is not the same as a diagnosis. If you complete the screening questionnaire, you can share and discuss it with your doctor or other healthcare providers. You may complete the screening yourself or ask your healthcare provider to complete it for you. Alberta Health Services recommends the Feeding Matters Infant and Child Feeding Questionnaire. If you wish, you can pause the video here and point a smartphone at the QR code. This will take you to the questionnaire. The websites shown here are a great source of more information on many of the topics discussed in the videos. You can use a smartphone to access these websites by scanning the QR codes. Visit healthyeatingstartshere.ca for general information on healthy eating and parent and child roles in feeding. You can also find out about local in-person or online workshops and services. Classes on feeding babies and young children are offered in many areas of the province. The Pediatric Eating and Swallowing, or PEAS website, has links to both general public health information and more specialized feeding support if needed. This is where you can find information on the screening tool mentioned earlier, as well as information on equipment and supplies, as well as funding. If you have questions about nutrition or feeding, please call HealthLink and ask to talk to a dietitian. HealthLink has dietitians available to answer nutrition questions for anyone in Alberta. If you would like to find local health services and supports in your community, you can search for services using the Alberta Referral Directory. Once you are on the Referral Directory webpage, you can search for a certain service or care provider. For example, you can search for a dietitian. You can also search for terms such as feeding or nutrition. You can then filter by where you live to find local services. If you need more support for your child's feeding and eating, you can go to the Alberta Health Services Pediatric Rehabilitation website. At the end of each video, you will see a QR code such as the one shown on this slide. Scanning this takes you to a short survey. We invite you to please share your feedback on each video by completing the survey. There is a short survey for this video as well. Thank you for your interest in the Alberta Health Services series, Tips for Success, Getting Through Mealtime Struggles. Remember to watch the other videos in this series. It's best to start with a video titled Connections. However, you can view them in any order.